All right, my friend, pull up a chair. Let's talk. Have you ever been scrolling through your phone late at night, the blue light glowing on your face, and you see it? Another engagement, another corner office, another perfect life unfolding in a perfect little square. And in that quiet moment, have you ever felt this tiny whisper deep inside, a voice that says, this isn't the whole story. It's a feeling, right? A deep, gut-level knowing that this beautifully polished, filtered version of life isn't the real map for your soul's journey. It feels like you're standing in the desert, seeing a shimmering, perfect city in the distance, but your soul is just thirsty for a single, real drop of water. If any of that makes the hairs on your arm stand up, even just a little, then you need to listen closely. You've stumbled into the right place at the right time. This isn't an accident. This is your sign. If you feel what I'm saying, hit that like button and subscribe, because we've got so much more to talk about. And do me a favor, drop a comment below and just type, I am on my path. Let's affirm this journey together. Because I'm here to tell you, your life isn't meant to be a copy of someone else's highlight reel. It's meant to be a blazing, brilliant trail that only you can create. The truth is, your 20s are a wild, sacred, and completely misunderstood territory. I remember when I was in my early 20s, I felt this invisible clock ticking, this ghost of a timeline that society had handed me. It haunted every decision I made. You know the one I'm talking about. Graduate by 22, shiny diploma in hand, land that career by 23, starting the long climb up a ladder that, if I'm being honest, I wasn't even sure I wanted to be on. Find the one by 25. As if true, deep love could be scheduled like a dentist appointment. Buy a house by 28, a fortress of supposed stability. And then, the grand finale. Have kids by 30 to complete the perfect picture. But you know what? A few years ago, I decided to pull back the curtain on that whole stage play. I started talking to people, hundreds of them people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and I asked them all the same thing, looking back at your 20s. What's the one piece of wisdom you wish someone had given you? And you know what's crazy? Not a single person, not one, ever said, I wish I had my life more figured out. Instead, it was like a chorus from all these different souls singing the same song. I wish I had worried less, one told me, the lines around her eyes softening with the memory. I wish I had just tried more things, another said, his voice full of a gentle longing. But the one that hit me the hardest, the one that I felt in my bones, was this. I wish I had understood that the messy, winding, sometimes backtracking path is the path. So I want you to do something for me. I want you to picture your life not as some grand, final performance where you have to get every line right on opening night. Instead, think of your 20s as the dress rehearsal. Yeah, a full-blown, glorious dress rehearsal. It's the one time in your life you're given this divine permission slip to make a mess, to fumble your lines, to try on a dozen different costumes and find they don't fit, to miss your cue. And you have to know, deep down, that none of these are failures. They are the most valuable lessons you will ever learn. The absolute first thing you have to do, the foundational truth you need to anchor into your soul, is to unlearn that toxic myth that you're supposed to have it all figured out. Honestly, that single shift in how you see things is the key that will unlock everything. It frees you up to explore, to play, to evolve without that crushing, suffocating pressure of perfection breathing down your neck. The next time that thought creeps in, this isn't going according to plan, I want you to take a deep breath and remind yourself, this chaos, this questioning, this beautiful deviation, this is the plan. It's so easy to get caught in the trap, isn't it? We scroll and scroll, seeing these digital ghosts of perfection, and we start to wonder why our own life feels so real, so unscripted. But you've got to see behind the veil, my friend. Behind every single one of those polished photos is a soul just like yours, trying to figure it out one wobbly step at a time. The real secret of your 20s is that everyone is silently freaking out, wondering if they're making the right choices, all while putting on a brave face for the world. You are so not alone in this. Remember that sick feeling in your stomach when you saw that old friend's engagement post? or heard about someone younger getting that big promotion. That feeling is the poison of comparison. It's the quickest way I know to let all the joy drain out of your own unique, sacred journey. It's hilarious, really. We expect ourselves to have a GPS route for the next 50 years. But half the time, I'm still not sure if I'm loading the dishwasher the right way. And you know what? That's perfectly, wonderfully okay. Let's call this Chapter 1, the Identity Laboratory. I want you to think of your 20s as this incredible, alchemical lab for your soul. Seriously. No other decade will ever give you this much pure, untethered freedom to just experiment with who you are and who you might become. And forget what anyone told you, you are not here to conduct one single, definitive experiment. No, you are here to run hundreds of tests. To mix potions of passion and curiosity, to light fires under old beliefs, just to see what magnificent new creations emerge. I used to think self-discovery was this one-time thing, like a lightning bolt would hit me and suddenly I'd know everything. But that's not how it works. It's an active, ongoing process of becoming. It's a dance, and your 20s are the most fertile, open dance floor you will ever have. You're finally independent enough to make your own calls. But your life is still fluid enough that one choice doesn't have to carve your entire destiny in stone. So the mission isn't to find your one true self, like you're on a scavenger hunt. The real mission is to discover the many brilliant, powerful, and surprising versions of yourself that are waiting to be awakened. Every new city you visit, every strange new hobby you try, every person you let into your heart, each one is like turning a diamond in the light, revealing a new, sparkling facet of your soul. And in this new way of thinking, changing your mind isn't a flaw, it's a sign of profound growth. So instead of getting paralyzed by that huge, overwhelming question, what should I do with my life? I want you to try asking a different one, a gentler one. What can I try next? Maybe it's that weekend pottery class that connects you to a creative fire you didn't know you had. Maybe it's a solo trip to a new city, where being a complete stranger for a few days lets you shed your old skin and try on a new one. Or maybe it's taking that job that everyone thinks is beneath you, only to discover that it shatters all your old ideas about what truly matters. Each one of these is just gathering data, my friend. Not final answers, just beautiful, valuable clues. I promise you, the person who has wandered down 10 different paths, even if they stumbled and got lost on 9 of them, has gathered infinitely more wisdom than the person who walked one safe path their whole life out of fear. Don't let that be your story. Chapter 2, Relationship Economics. Okay, get ready, because I'm about to drop a truth bomb that might just change everything for you. Ready? Not every relationship in your life deserves an equal share of your sacred energy. Your 20s are the decade you finally learn this hard, but incredibly freeing, lesson. The quality of your connections will always be more important than the quantity. Think back to high school. Most of our friendships were built on proximity, right? Same classes, same neighborhood, same lunch table. It was easy. But your 20s, my friend, they introduce a whole new game. I call it intentional connection. This is when you start to really feel the difference between convenience connections and soul connections. You start to notice who leaves you feeling energized and seen, and who leaves you feeling drained and misunderstood. You see who genuinely cheers for your growth and who secretly wishes you'd just stay the same. And here's the kicker. Maintaining those high-vibration, soul-level relationships. It takes work. It takes conscious, active investment. They don't just happen by accident. I want you to start thinking of your relationships like a portfolio. Some are high-maintenance stocks that give you nothing but anxiety and low returns. They leave you feeling emotionally bankrupt. Others are like those steady, quiet investments that require very little fuss but yield incredible dividends of support, growth, and pure, simple joy over time. So, the question to ask yourself isn't, how can I juggle all these people? It should be, which of these connections are truly worthy of my soul's investment? That one friend, the one you can call after a terrible day and hang up feeling lighter, more alive, that's a blue chip investment. That group of friends that always leaves you feeling a little smaller, a little more insecure. It's time to divest. Your energy, your time, they are the most precious currencies you have. Start spending them on people who help you become a better version of yourself and who let you do the same for them. Trust me on this. Building a small, genuine, soul-aligned support system will matter more than having the most impressive social circle in the world. Having the courage to lovingly release the connections that no longer fit creates the sacred space for the right ones to come in. And those are the ones that will carry you through anything. Chapter 3. Financial Foundations. Let's talk about money. I know, but stick with me. Your bank account in your 20s might look a little sparse. I get it. Mine was a roller coaster, to be honest. But the habits you create around money right now, in this decade, are unbelievably powerful. They will either become your greatest ally, setting you up for a life of freedom, or they'll become this nagging ghost that follows you around for years. Most of us never got a real class in how to be a human with money, right? But it's one of the most critical skills you can ever learn. And your 20s are the golden hour to build this foundation. Not because you're rolling in cash, but because you have something even more valuable. Time. Time is the secret, magical ingredient in finance. It's what makes compound interest work. It means that the small, consistent things you do now will create massive, life-changing results down the road. This isn't about some get-rich-quick fantasy. It's about consciously, intentionally creating future freedom for yourself. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about being intentional. It's about really understanding what you spend your money on and aligning it with what brings you real, lasting value, not just a quick hit of satisfaction. I read this wild stat once. If you invest just $200 a month starting at 25, by the time you're 65, you could have over $500,000. But if you wait just 10 years, until you're 35, that final number gets cut by more than half. That 1 decade of just starting is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Wild, right? The point is to see every dollar not just as something to spend, but as something with potential energy. Set up simple systems. An automatic transfer to savings the day you get paid. You don't even have to think about it. It just happens. It's about learning the difference between assets, things that grow in value, like skills and investments, and liabilities, things that just drain your wallet. What really matters isn't the number on your paycheck in your 20s. It's the mindset you build. Because real financial freedom isn't about being rich. It's about having option. It's about having the power to make choices from your heart, not just from your bank account. Chapter 4. The Health Investment. Your body in your 20s. It's amazing. It can feel like this incredible, indestructible machine. You can run on 3 hours of sleep and a diet of pizza and coffee, and somehow you keep going. But listen to me, my friend. Don't be fooled by this. It's an illusion. You are not invincible. You're just running on the factory warranty. And trust me, that warranty expires. Youth creates this false sense of security, but your 20s are the time when you are laying the foundation for your health for the rest of your life. The habits you bake into your routine now, both physical and mental, become your body's default setting. And rewriting that code gets harder and harder with every passing year. Things like regular movement, getting enough sleep, finding ways to manage stress, and actually feeding your body real food. These aren't just about fitting into a certain size jeans. These are the fundamental building blocks of your energy, your mood, and your ability to think clearly, and your mental health. That deserves to be at the very top of the list. Learning to actually feel your emotions without judging them. Learning to set boundaries. And this is a big one, learning that it's a sign of strength, not weakness, to ask for help when you need it. I'm serious. Just starting a simple 5-minute meditation practice every day in your 20s could literally add years of peace and clarity to your life. And here's the best part. This stuff doesn't require perfection. Consistency with imperfect action is 1,000 times more powerful than trying to be perfect every once in a while and then giving up. What truly matters here isn't about achieving some impossible ideal you saw online. It's about building a foundation of sustainable habits and just learning to listen to your body. The relationship you build with your own physical and mental well-being in this decade is one of the longest, most intimate relationships you'll ever have. Treat it with the care and reverence it deserves. Chapter 5. The Courage Curriculum. The moments that will truly define your 20s, the ones that will shape you into the person you're meant to be, will almost never happen inside your comfort zone. They will be born from courage. Now, we have this weird idea about courage. We think it's about not being afraid. That's a lie. Courage has nothing to do with the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear your hands are sweating, your heart is pounding and taking the aligned action anyway. Your 20s are like a divine curriculum designed to build your courage muscle. And the way you build it is through intentional discomfort. Every time you consciously step outside of what feels safe and easy, whether it's talking to a stranger, applying for a job that feels like a stretch, or being honest about your feelings, you expand your capacity for resilience. Our brains are wired to avoid discomfort. It's a survival mechanism. But all the meaningful growth, all the magic, happens just on the other side of that feeling. And courage isn't just for those huge life or death moments. It's in the small daily choices. It's speaking up in a meeting when you have an idea, even if your voice shakes. It's trying a new hobby and being willing to look foolish as a beginner. It's being vulnerable with someone when every instinct is telling you to put up your walls. All these small acts of bravery, they compound. They build on each other until you've created a life that's defined by your choices, not by your fears. Start small. I mean it. Strike up a conversation with the barista. Ask a question you think is dumb. Then, slowly, you level up. You negotiate your salary. You take that solo trip. You apply for the job you're only 80% qualified for. I've learned that confidence doesn't come first. Action comes first, and confidence follows. You become brave by doing brave things. When you talk to older people about their regrets, it's almost never about the things they tried and failed at. It's always about the chances they were too afraid to take. So, what truly matters is not avoiding failure. It's about building a new relationship with your fear so that it can sit in the passenger seat, but it never, ever gets to grab the steering wheel. Chapter 6. The Long Game. Let me tell you about the most powerful, unstoppable force in the universe. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's the compound effect. It's the quiet, subtle magic of your small, daily habits accumulating over time. And your 20s, my friend, are the years when you are literally writing the code for your entire life's operating system. The small, consistent things you do every day might feel completely insignificant in the moment, like they don't even matter. But they are creating massive, exponential results down the line, for better or for worse. It's just like compound interest. A tiny bit of money saved today grows into a fortune over decades. In the same way, compound habits transform ordinary routines into extraordinary lives. Read just 20 pages a day. That becomes nearly 25 books a year. A 30-minute walk every day. That's over 180 hours of movement in a year. But here's the scary part, the part we don't like to think about. Negative habits compound just as powerfully. A little bit of procrastination, a little bit of unhealthy food, a little bit of negative self-talk, day after day, creates a massive downward spiral over time. The magic and the terror of your 20s is that you're setting these patterns now, when the stakes feel so low. But the long-term impact is absolutely immense. The daily choices that seem so trivial, reading a book versus scrolling on your phone, saving that extra $20 versus spending it, creating something versus just consuming, these are the choices that are actually defining your future with the precision of a mathematical equation. So what really matters isn't some big, heroic, one-time effort. It's the boring, unglamorous, daily discipline. It's the small promises you keep to yourself when no one is watching. The habits you normalize now are the ones you'll likely carry for decades, so choose them intentionally. Your future is being built, right now, in these small moments. Your future self is either going to thank you profusely or wish you had started sooner. Embrace the long game, my friend. It's the only game that truly matters.